Hey, what's up everybody? I'm your host Jonathan Thames of Rosie and Ernie Productions, and welcome back to Multimedia Megafan Movie Reviews. Before we dive in today, I do want to say it's great to be back here doing another full-fledged episode of Multimedia Megafan Movie Reviews. It's definitely been a while, and I've been keeping myself pretty busy working on several projects, including a few smaller scale and shorter spoiler-free reviews for this channel, as well as several videos for the Jonathan Thames Music channel, and I also just launched a brand new video game channel called Megafan Family Game Days this past Monday, May 3rd. If anybody is interested in checking out the content on those channels, I'll leave links to them in the description below. On today's video, we're continuing to part 4 of our DCEU reviews and talking about a movie that most people agreed is pretty darn good.
I am above average.
After Suicide Squad left the vast majority of audiences in 2016 with a lot to be desired, Warner Bros. Released the next piece to its DCEU story in 2017 with Wonder Woman. And as I just mentioned, most people saw this movie as a major win for the DCEU films, and I wholeheartedly agree. It is fantastic. The film is directed by Patty Jenkins, who many know from directing the film Monster back in 2003, and she does a beautiful job telling this story. And whereas the movie definitely carries a style and tone that's definitive of the director, it fits right into the universe and the tone established in the first 2 installments in the DCEU. The cinematography is great and the film has a very beautiful look. And I definitely argue that if you were to watch these movies in succession to each other, this one regrounds us to where we need to be. I'll start off by saying that I absolutely love the set design and the locations chosen for filming. Themyscira in particular looks amazing. They did a really great job in my opinion creating that mythical ancient Greek-like look and feel. The rest of the movie is set in the midst of the First World War and is centered around the conflict with Germany near the war's end, and the costume and set design work well together to effectively create this setting. Now, story-wise, everything flows together pretty well. I really love the on-screen adaptation of Wonder Woman's origins and how they cleverly blended the stories from different comic continuities. Now, for anyone that doesn't know or follow the comics, the Wonder Woman character originated in All-Star Comics number 8 in October of 1941 and was said to have been molded out of clay by her mother, Queen Hippolyta, and then came to life after Zeus answered Hippolyta's prayers for the mold to be brought to life. This remained the widely accepted origin story throughout the majority of the character's history, despite them trying to revamp her origin during the Silver Age of comics. And then in 2011, with DC's launch of the New 52, they sought to bring in a fresh continuity for all of the existing DC heroes, so they introduced Wonder Woman as a demigoddess, who is actually the natural-born daughter of Zeus and Hippolyta. And in my opinion, they really executed servicing fans of both concepts pretty well with their delivery. The plot setup revolves around Diana leaving Themyscira to help Steve Trevor after he crash lands on the island while in an air fight with German soldiers and informs Diana and the Amazons about the First World War.
I'm going, Mother. I cannot stand by while innocent lives are lost.
She joins Steve in assisting efforts against the Germans as a pending armistice between the United Nations and Germany promises to bring the war to an end and establish peace between the warring nations. But Trevor obtains a piece of information confirming that a general for the German army named General Ludendorff and his scientist, Dr. Maru, aka Dr. Poison, a classic Wonder Woman villain from the early books, develop a plot to overthrow the armistice and defeat the United Nations forces by unleashing a deadly new gas that Dr. Poison develops. Diana, having heard stories from her mother while growing up about the battles between the old gods, is led to believe that Ares, Zeus's son and the god of war, is truly the one responsible for the war and suspects that Ludendorff is actually Ares in disguise. So she and Steve throw themselves into the action, despite the lack of approval from his command. The story unfolds in a really straightforward and coherent way, keeping the film well-focused throughout, and for the most part it's paced very well in my opinion, and really didn't have any significant drags or interruptions. Additionally, I think all of the action scenes look pretty great. Every scene where Wonder Woman is put into action is very exciting, is beautifully shot and directed, and is edited together very well. Everything is visible, everything is clear, and nothing looks excessively choppy or shaky, which I really like. The most famous scene has to be the No Man's Land scene, which is absolutely amazing in my opinion.
No, but it's what I'm going to do.
And it's probably the most powerful scene to date in the DCEU. The The movie also has a great tone throughout. It doesn't take itself too seriously, nor does it come across as too lighthearted or campy. The drama, action, and comedy are all well balanced and keep the movie engaging from start to finish. And everything comes across as very sincere and unforced. All of the characters are written very well, and each character has their own unique traits and defined personality. Every single character, including supporting characters, feels significant and add value to the movie. I especially enjoyed the scenes with Etta, who is played awesomely by actress Lucy Davis.
It's choking me. Can't blame it.
Gal Gadot does a magnificent job playing the Amazonian warrior princess, awesomely displaying what makes Diana such a fierce force to be reckoned with, while simultaneously showcasing the sincerity, purity, and love within her heart. She thoroughly impressed me with her BVS introduction and continued to do so as she expanded on those character elements in this movie. And Chris Pine did a great job as Steve Trevor. I really felt like he and Gal had really good chemistry together on screen, and that the romance between them came across as sincere and was quite honestly pretty cute and heartwarming at certain moments the way it played out. I genuinely felt invested and interested in their relationship.
You did this.
We did.
Danny Houston is great as General Ludendorff and does a great job carrying the focal villain role throughout the majority of the film. And though she didn't have a ton of dialogue, Spanish actress Elena Anaya did a really great job playing Dr. Maru. When she did speak, her line delivery was very creepy in my opinion, and her facial expressions were all extremely convincing, and at certain moments, pretty terrifying. The only thing I felt like could have been executed a little bit better is the reveal of Ares himself. And I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, but I will say this. It wasn't who it is that bothered me at all. I was totally on board with that. I just felt like this is the one area of the movie where the design team and director could have pulled together to make this reveal seem more intimidating than it actually came across. Personally, I think the final character design post-reveal, as well as the dialogue delivery, are just a little off. Now, having said that, I didn't dislike it, and it really didn't take away from my overall enjoyment of the film. Overall, I have to give it a rating of 8 out of 10, and I definitely do recommend checking it out if you haven't seen it yet. Especially if you're into Wonder Woman, into DC, into superheroes in general, or just like a good fantasy action movie with a well-executed story. If you don't own a copy of it, it is currently available on HBO Max under the DC Hub, where you can find all sorts of DC films and shows that are awesome, so get over to HBO Max if you have a subscription and go check it out. Come back and let me know what you thought. Thank you guys for watching. I hope everybody is doing well, and I'll see you all in the next video.